Okay then. Well, let's just jump into the actual meat of what we're talking about here.
That's anti-gay. I'm sorry. I'm
Wow!
so sorry.
I could have said if that had been, blessed by a rabbi, it would have been Holy Hebrew,
That's anti-Semitic. Jason, jeez, come on, man.
Jeez? Okay, what? Okay, we're getting messages from beyond there. I hope to edit that out in a minute, too. Okay, wanted to talk about the pros and cons of Marvel Company versus DC Company. Let's start with live films. Okay, let's start from the beginning of DC's approach to superheroes. Um, when would you say that really started? Was it Superman? Was it the big ones with Christopher Reeve back in the?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the most successful ones.
Yeah.
Okay, at least the first one or two, and those are pretty cool.
Would you agree with that? Superman was their first major.
We're talking about strictly movies, yeah.
Yeah, just movies, live, big screen, silver screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think you could count the '66 Batman movie as a movie or successful.
I didn't want to count that one, so nor did I want to count Joel Schumacher's effects of Batman either. That's neither successful.
But that still came after.
True. A more recent approach. So, what would you say would be the most successful DC film within that time period, the frame period of the 80s and 90s? Even the.
I'd say Superman 1 and 2.
1 and
I
2.
mean, yeah, tied. I would definitely say that's probably the most successful of that era.
Right. Okay. Did Marvel have any successful live films?
I don't think they actually had any successful live films up until about the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they did films.
Well, they had some like the wonderful Dolph Lundgren Punisher. Yeah. I recall seeing a Thor movie at one point in time.
Oh, the Hulks, and then
I mean, well, the Hulk TV show. I mean,
okay, we're gonna get to small screen in a minute. I'm just talking big screen right now.
But the Fantastic Four too. I mean that one, and the Captain America. They had all of those, but they were nowhere. I mean, there
was no
you're hard pressed to
comparison.
even find existence of those.
Yeah.
Except past mention. But I think you're right. For Marvel, it didn't really start until Blade in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
I think they had something else that was successful, but I can't recall what it was.
Well, from what I remember is the fact that they were aiming more at small screen from the 70s all the way up. They had all these television made for movies because they worked off the series. Whereas DC had a couple they tried, just did not do anything, didn't work because of the content. But you had the Incredible Hulk television series, Bill Bixby, and Ferrigno. Okay, and that led off to several small, 2-hour Sunday night films where you ended up with Daredevil and you ended up with Thor, and all these guest appearances. Again, not huge winners in my opinion, but much better than the Captain America version of the 70s, riding on the motorcycle with the helmet and the shield that looked like transparent Rubbermaid shield that he would drive on and throw at people off of the dam and try to wreck them, or the SpiderMan with the rope length webs that suddenly appeared out of the area.
I don't know which was worse, the American Spider-Man or the Japanese Spider-Man.
It was awful, awful. The only odd fact, trivia fact that I remember about the Peter Parker and the Spider-Man things from the 70s from Marvel, the actor, okay, the guy who played Peter Parker is also the actor who was one of the young Von Trapp kids in The Sound of Music. Okay, so that shows you the span of time where he was playing like a 12-year-old to like a 25-year-old. Well, this guy did nothing, and so I don't know why they chose this guy to be Peter Parker.
Because he was a Von Trapp.
Well,
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, what can I say? As far as Tootie's mom was in there from A Bags of Life, Chip Fields. She was the J. Jonah Jameson's secretary. Had to have a black secretary. I don't know what the deal with that was.
Because it was the 70s and they were trying to be progressive.
Well, I thought they were just like had the Afro puffs or something. I didn't know. That's good product placement.
Racist.
Oh, what I say is racist, what you didn't, okay? Just had to have them in there, huh?
It's progressive.
Okay. How progressive, okay, were the later Superman movies? Okay, with Nuclear Man and Richard Pryor being a computer genius.
Well, I think they screwed up because they were trying to appeal to two different crowds with Richard Pryor. I mean, Richard Pryor was a huge name at the time, and they were trying to appeal to people that liked Richard Pryor, and they had a shit script.
Basically.
And they were trying to appeal to comic book fans.
True.
The other one, Nuclear Man.
That was a waste of celluloid.
Wow.
I can't believe Gene Hackman let his voice to that.
They used a part of Superman's hair that they was holding up 4-ton brick, and they cut it with wire cutters.
Not a lot of sense.
Hence why when you asked the successful ones, I said 1 and 2 and didn't mention the other two.
Not at all. My point of bringing up those particular 4 films by the same franchise is you can have some really good beginnings and some really bad failures in sequel.
Yeah.
And having mentioned those, let's bring it up to the 90s, okay? That's when you really see a lot of films, let's say Marvel 90s superhero films or comic book films.
The ones that come straight to mind is Blade for me.
Blade?
Yep.
The trilogy? Over a period of
Blade
years?
1, 2, and 3.
What year was the first X-Men?
98?
Yeah.
99?
So I guess that still considers a 90s film.
Yeah.
Into the 90s.
Yeah, because I remember I was still going to high school when that first came out, I believe.
Okay. So, X-Men beginning, X-Men later?
Well, back to the Blade.
Yeah.
I think Blade 1 and 2 were freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And then 3 kind of just sputtered out.
Yeah, about like the effects.
Yeah. And then X-Men, first 2, the first one, fantastic.
Yeah.
The second one, I own it.
Yeah.
The third one, I don't own. I don't recognize that as being a movie.
Canon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then you got X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Again, I do not consider that to be a movie. Then you have...
Keith, shaking your head.
Yeah.
Contribute, my friend.
Yes.
Contribute.
Don't let me
Commentary.
take over.
I can't because you'll have to completely
Edit
out everything that I say.
Oh, yeah, because Wolverine is your favorite character at me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then might I garner a response for the Days of Future Past? Or potentially what you might think of the upcoming Apocalypse movie?
Actually, I enjoyed Days of Future Past.
Okay.
I think it made up for the crap that was X-Men 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I even enjoyed the second Wolverine movie. There were some things about it I was a little disappointed with, but all in all, it was a much better film than that other piece of garbage they called a Wolverine movie.
Gotcha.
Agreed. I totally agree with that.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see what they do with a movie featuring Apocalypse.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Well, it's in the works.
Yeah, I know it is.
And
I mean, they teased it at the end of Future Past.
the leading rumor is that Tom Hardy is going to be playing Apocalypse.
Okay.
I have mixed reactions.
Yeah, I'm irritated by that. I'm hoping for someone like Idris Elba to play Apocalypse.
He did a good job as Heimdall in the form of it. He can act. He's definitely
he's
played Luther
actor.
on BBC America. He's really good.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He is a wonderful actor, so I'd love to see him, you know. And never mind, I'm not even going to bring that up. Just, yeah.
On to the next thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about